Thank you. Before we get started, thank you. Before we get started, there's a small check that we need to present. And, it's back here somewhere. There it is. We should never forget where we come from, and we should never forget how we got where we are. And Don does a great job in being an ambassador for Eastern and talking about something that he calls the fabric of the university. And I think Don's really onto something, but I think when you look at the track and cross country programs, it goes beyond that. Because fabric could be something you put on or take off. But with Eastern track and cross country, we have a unique DNA. I'll call it the Eastern track DNA. And what's so unique about it? Well, we all have our DNA that we got from our parents, and I'm pleased to say and proud that my father is here this evening. And that got us to a certain point when we arrived here at Eastern. But when we came to Eastern, we were able to dip into that gene pool of 100 plus years of track DNA from everyone who preceded us. And we were able to pull on that and get the power of all those experiences and all those athletes. And before we left a part of our DNA in that same pool. And it's there for everybody to tap into as soon as they arrive at this university, as soon as they start competing on these teams. And this is an incredible quality that these programs have that literally you won't find anywhere else. Because what you'll find in a lot of other places are elite programs, but they are elitist in that they're exclusionary. This is an elite program, but it's not elitist. It's a program that's inclusive, it's developmental. It allows people like myself that were at moderate levels to come here and train with great athletes and dramatically improve themselves. And that really sets us up well for life. Obviously, Bob Hart's a huge part of this. And as I talked about at the press conference yesterday, we all got those cards and letters constantly from him while we were being recruited. And we all felt and knew that this man really wanted us to be here. And what we found here is what I would call a meritocracy. And that is a place where it didn't really matter if you were a 5-minute miler or a 4-minute miler. If you produced in practice and in meets, you were on the varsity, you were part of the team, you were someone that was relied on. It was about getting the job done. And somebody who put that best is another distinguished alumnus from Eastern. And I've had time to spend with Rod Slater on one of the committees here at Eastern. And Rod, if you'll recall, was a football player at Eastern. He was a 5th-year senior when I was a freshman, and we used to eat up in DC3 on the hill together. And Rod, after he left Eastern, went back home to Arkansas, got a law degree, and became a part of the Clinton administration. And he ultimately became the first African-American Secretary of Transportation. So this is a very distinguished Eastern Michigan student athlete. And he said, Dan, I understand we've had all these Olympians in the track team, but let me tell you something important. Those guys weren't Olympians when they came here. They became Olympians because of this program. We've had a longer string of track Olympians in Michigan or Florida or Southern Cal, all kinds of programs like Texas over the years, and that's extraordinary. And we hear about things like Stan Vincent competing in Russia 5 times, and Paul being the top 1,500 meter runner for the U.S. in Atlanta, and Boaz still lighting it up indoors, Boston and New York this year. And sure, they talk about them as members of the national team, but they always say, Paul McMullen, Eastern Michigan University. Stan Vincent, Eastern Michigan University. That's some world-class attention that we get year-round. And again, I put a priceless price tag on that type of attention. With the program where it is today, it's absolutely time to do what we're doing and get offensive. We were in a little bit of a defensive posture. Are we still going to have track? Is it going to go the way of some other programs? That's absolutely not the case. We're on to the next phase, and that's taking additional resources, getting it in the hands of the right people here, and taking our programs to even higher levels of prominence. Just imagine the future. And you know, we've got some great challenges and difficulties here at Eastern right now. And more than ever, commitments are needed to keep this going. Everybody can give back, whether it's volunteering or being a coach, helping to recruit, supporting at any level. And I firmly believe this is the first of many, what I'm calling double comma gifts to the university and to this athletic program that you're going to hear about in the coming weeks and months. And quite frankly, I'd be disappointed if it stops here, and I know that it won't, because I know there's a lot of Dan McClorys out there. There's a lot of people extremely successful, extremely committed to this program that are going to contribute and respond. There's also a lot of 4, 5, and 6-figure gifts out there, because if you look at Eastern, you know, we come from working class families. We're sometimes the first generation to go to a 4-year college. And you know what I always say is, give me an Eastern guy. Talk to my kids, as I'm sure all of you do, about our Eastern track experiences. And they say, well, Dad, were you ever in a fraternity? And I say, well, no, I didn't have to be. I had 100 brothers and sisters. They were my teammates here at Eastern. And, you know, I knew I could rely on them for whatever I needed and whenever I needed it. And again, that's a testament to what Bob and the other coaches have built in terms of a group here. It doesn't matter if you travel the world 10 times or you never left Ypsilanti. You're still always a part of Eastern. You're still always a part of the track and cross-country programs. I'm indebted to Eastern for a lot of things. It's where I met my wife. I got my degrees here. I have mentors from Eastern. My first job was as a result of coming here. I have my teammates and my experiences. And guess what? I was never a national caliber athlete, but I've got a world-class set of teammates and experiences from Eastern Michigan. Speaking of national class, as you know here at Eastern, we don't rebuild teams, we reload teams. And the coaches have piled success upon success upon success, and it really proves out the old adage that teams and athletes, and sometimes even coaches, come and go, but tradition never graduates. Tradition comes back year after year after year. And it's something that every team can count on. Everybody can pull into that gene pool of Eastern track DNA. And the drive and the competitiveness and the no-fear attitudes that we learned while being on the track and cross-country teams here at Eastern are great life qualities. And it carries over to today. I was able to go to the NCAA Nationals for outdoor track last year in Sacramento and went to the MAC meet cross-country this fall. And I'm here to tell you, if you haven't spent time with them, that Eastern athletes today, they're cut the same way. These are guys and girls with grit, toughness, perseverance, because that's why people come to Eastern. They don't come to Eastern to fall down or to flame out. They come to Eastern to step up. Might not have all the physical tools or the budget resources or even all the scholars at first, but we get the job done and we stay here. Don's talked about the rich history that we've got at Eastern, and it's been positively and permanently affected by what we've done with track and cross countries. These sports have been a huge difference maker in what the institution of Eastern Michigan University is today. And guess what? We're all a part of that. And the contributions that we make to Eastern after leaving are going to take things to a new level. We have and we can make a difference. And tonight we celebrate track and cross country's accomplishments, and we lead the charge into the future. And imagine taking things even further. Imagine the next Olympian who comes here to Eastern because of you. Think about those priceless experiences that you had. How EMU track and how you're celebrating everything that you fought for and you earned and you won. And make sure you do that with your teammates tonight. Don't ever forget, to whoever much is given, much is also expected. And absolutely remember where you came from. Thank you very much.